type.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. Oh, today's the day, Jabes. Today is the big day.
Is it?
Oh, it is. You know what came out today. You know the pre-order has begun for the sequel to the greatest novel ever written in this or any other generation, Jabes. Talking about When Darkness Falls, He Doesn't Catch It. It's out.
The much anticipated.
Oh, boy. Fuck. I've been hit up for this for many, many years now. What I didn't know is this, actually. I didn't know that At Night She Cries While He Rides a Steed. I'll hold it up in the camera. I didn't know that this came out 3 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that crazy? Everybody was like, yo, man, we haven't gotten a new book in like 3 years. And I was like, shit.
Take some time, guys. It takes some time.
You know what? In all honesty, though, it's not that it took me that much time, because it doesn't. But I wrote Matt's book before that. So like I got commissioned to do that before this.
That's 2 books.
So there's another book coming out right after this.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have hit me up saying, dude, you did it. I can't believe you did this. Harriet Tubman's on the cover. You're welcome for that. I didn't bend. Not only did I not bend, I didn't break. You're not going to fucking break me. Fuck you. So the publisher said I can't put Harriet Tubman chapter in the book. I'm doubling down. Not only did I lead off with Tubman, she's on the motherfucking cover. Tubman, Patterson, Ending Racism in 2018. Yeah. I don't want to say that I'm probably going to be the one that's responsible for ending racism.
Sure.
Globally. But I am. So go out and order, pre-order When Darkness Falls, He Doesn't Catch It. Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, all that shit that I usually say about At Night She Cries. We've got When Darkness Falls. You can't get both, and that's what I want to go into.
Oh, sorry.
It is sold out. No. At Night She Cries While He Rides a Steed is sold out almost everywhere. So, I mean, I'm talking, it is sold out of Amazon. It is sold out of Walmart.com. Like, I think there's maybe a couple copies left on Barnes and Noble. I don't know, by the way, if this is the publisher like trying to get back at me for doing this. Yeah. With the sequel, I don't know what the deal is. I fired off an email this morning and I just said, hey guys, I don't know if you're trying to make this like the Wu-Tang album where there's just like one copy left and people are going to be, because there's bids on eBay, or not eBay, but on Amazon from like third-party sellers. Like somebody's selling the book for like $87. Don't buy that.
No.
I mean, you can. It's worth it. It's well worth the $87. But man, I don't know what the deal is. So like whether they're trying to stifle everything because they were pissed off that I didn't want to do the deal with them.
Right.
Whether they were pissed off at the cover because I turned in the artwork.
So it's just sold out. It's
sold out everywhere. Look, the sales have been
right
amazing anyways. Like you saw,
just be that.
It could be. I find it extremely curious that we go on pre-sale for When Darkness Falls, He Doesn't Catch It, and then all of a sudden the rest of them are sold out everywhere. Look, maybe people were like, a lot of people came in to buy this one before the other one came out. I don't know what the deal is, but like the publisher's been mum on it. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
Wow.
Controversial cover, controversial book. We'll see. But look, go out and pre-order When Darkness Falls, He Doesn't Catch It. It's the pre-orders mean a lot. They're super helpful, and they all count towards the first week of your numbers. So when it gets released August 14th to the world, and it is to the world, by the way. I found another place and another home for it. And we're talking like this will be out in China Australia, like, I mean, fucking worldwide. Germany, England, all of it worldwide. So you can literally order this worldwide. If it's all of these sales, if you guys go out and buy it, if every listener just bought this, just pre-ordered a copy of When Darkness Falls, doesn't catch it, I would be a bestseller opening week out of the gate. A New York Times bestseller. Nothing anybody can do about that. And that would be, that's the ultimate dream in my life. I have nowhere else to go after that.
Okay.
I'm going to keep doing the show, obviously, and keep writing books. But like,
my heart won't be in it, you know?
No, it will. But I mean, mentally, when you have that dream for so long and you achieve it, you know, I assume the next step for me is just like, great, I want 2. I want 3 on there. I want 4 on there.
I don't see you being the type of person that's like, okay, I've made it to my ultimate goal.
I'm not.
That's it. I don't set any more. Like,
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
you'll celebrate it for about a week, and then you'll be like, okay,
probably,
on to the next.
Maybe a couple days.
Maybe days.
I'll go on a bender for a couple days.
I might force you to go a week.
You do force me to do stuff.
To be like, live in it, be happy about it before you move on to your next like goal that you want to set. Just a second.
Yeah, and we've talked about this briefly on a couple other shows, but one of the biggest reasons why I do this show and Drinking Bros as well is I'm always searching for inspiring people or inspiration or something. I've always wanted to sit down with Kanye, which we'll talk about later in the show, or Taylor Swift, or fucking the best writers, the best Kobe, the best basketball players, the best athletes, Mike Trout, on the planet, and just pick their brain about motivation and how you get to certain places. I enjoy that. We have a guest on next week for episode 200, which is massive, like beyond like, holy shit, I never thought that I would ever talk to that person in my life, let alone him be on my show. He's one of those guys where I was just like, dude, what was it? What was the drive? What was the motivation to continue going once you've reached the pinnacle? And I found an article about Kevin Durant. The playoffs, the NBA playoffs are on right now. Golden State Warriors. He switched teams, went from Oklahoma City to Golden State. And he said, you know, they were like, what's it like after winning a championship? That was your entire life goal, was to win an NBA championship. And I found it interesting. He goes, because he's been getting a lot of technical fouls this year. And he said, look, that's the reason why I'm getting so many technical fouls, is because I won another one. He goes, what I found was after I accomplished my dream of doing this, it was empty. And he goes, now I want like 9. He's like, I don't think I'd be satisfied unless I got like 9 championships.
Right.
Whereas a lot of people are satisfied with one thing and then that's it. They're off into the sunset. You're right. I'm not going to be satisfied with one, but I need the first one to fall. And your pre-orders will help. Again, if just every listener just bought 1 copy, I'm never asking you to buy shit. We have sponsors at the top of the show who pay for the show to be on the air. I enjoy all the sponsors. I use all their sponsors. We're
telling you about them, but you don't need to buy them in order to listen to the show. We don't do Patreon where you have to like pay to get any bonus or anything. Like, everything's totally free. Not saying that we're amazing and martyrs.
Not at all. But we are.
But, you know.
So to end my rant about my new book, if everybody will please go out and buy a copy, just pre-order a copy, it would mean the world to me. And again, these numbers stack up and they all count for the first week of the New York Times bestseller list. A lot of people don't know this about the New York Times bestseller list, is you just have to make it for 1 week.
And how many copies?
In hardback, the numbers vary week to week, but it's, I will say, for hardback to make the list, it's about 6,000 copies, 7,000 copies.
Easy, guys. Easy.
We have a lot of listeners. It would be awesome if everybody just bought 1 copy. I'd be it tomorrow. But the thing is this. Here's the thing that they don't tell you, is it resets after a week. So after the first week of sales, the reason why pre-sales are so big.
Because it can all count to that first.
All of it will count for that first week. So from now to August 14th, if you pre-order When Darkness Falls, Lee Doesn't Catch It, it counts, and I can be a New York Times bestseller that week.
What will you do?
Selling 7,000 copies in like the second week, the next week. It's hard. You can't go back, really.
What will you do for the people?
Oh, if we do it?
If you do it.
Boy.
What thing will you do to your body, to other people's bodies? I think you need to think about something.
I got it.
Oh, you got it.
I got it. I will get St. James Street James tattooed somewhere on my person, on my body.
Okay, well, okay.
I'll get that, like... when you start tattooing your own character names that you created on your body, like
almost like Steve-O's face on his back.
Yeah, I'm not going to get a picture, but I'll get it. I'll get the name written somewhere on me.
Okay, we'll think. That's one.
That's one.
That's one thing. I wanna let's hear from the people.
I'll do another one as well.
What they want you to do.
We'll go two. Because I get the demographics of where these books are being sold.
Okay.
The biggest city that buys the most books, we'll do a live show there. Okay. I don't care what city it is. Anywhere in the United States. I'll go to fucking Anchorage. I'll go to Anchorage, Alaska, if that's where all of the book sales come from. We'll go to Anchorage and do a live show.
Okay, we'll talk to the boys. Get everybody out there.
Yeah, it's just me. We'll go. Fuck.
Oh, okay.
You and Jabes, dude. And Jabes.
I'll have the ultimate crime corner for you guys.
Yeah, a live crime corner in front of your face.
And that, I may have to commit that crime in your state and then do the crime corner later before afterwards. I get arrested.
Yeah. And I look, I apologize for the shameless plug. I know everybody's waiting for this book to come out. It's done. The audiobook is almost done.
Yeah.
That
one's really fun.
We got an Oscar winner to play Tubman, so.
No bigs.
No bigs,
guys.
I will say this though: the book was so aggressive. We did have to sign NDA with the actors who were in it, so we were not allowed to say their names.
You may be, if you're a fan of our stuff, you may be able to guess,
but I will not be able to. I will not be able to publicly tell you.
If you meet up with us in private, maybe at the live show or something or whatever, we may be able to like blink twice or something like that. Yeah, but it's that aggressive that people like, I want to do it. I want to do it with you guys. But like, you can't like say.
You can't use my name.
You can't say that I did.
And that happened with
the Mary J. Blige.
Every actor, yeah. Well, the Mary J. Blige thing, I don't care from Dawkins now. Like that's.
And it wasn't like the same type of thing. But this is like, love you guys. Yeah. Want to do it. Want to read it.
Oh, yeah.
You have to please not say my name. And you're like, weird.
Yeah. Well, look, it's a sensitive
I would do that.
It's a sensitive time in Hollywood right now, and everybody is afraid. There were people that I called to do the book that are my faves, and they said no. You know one of them who I was I was really pissed off about and sad. And I offered a decent amount of cash for him to do it, too. And it's somebody I work with a lot.
He's a fave too, and like
he's a friend,
fave, loves the thing. I mean, we have to respect that, his decision or whatever. As far as like,
I don't
whatever career he's trying to do. Like, I don't agree with it, but you have to be like, all right, man, you do what you got to do, like for yourself. But like, you're missing out.
There isn't any thing from my friends that I wouldn't do creatively. From my best friends.
And do like everyone else. Like, just don't say my name.
Exactly.
Like, I'll do it for you. I'll take the money.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'll hang out with you for a couple hours. Like, as a friend, I would for sure do that. And the people that are in it were the diehards like that were like, love you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll do the next thing and you can say my name. But like, I just want to.
Boy. That one, there's one. And I'd tell you what, after the book comes out, I'll talk about it on air. Who it was.
Okay.
So once everybody hears it and listens to it, then I'll talk about who it was and why. But again, it is super aggressive across the board, this book. I haven't read anything this crazy. I really ramped shit up from the last one simply for the fact that I knew everybody is waiting for this, saying, dude, you got to go hard as shit.
And in times like these, which I hate saying.
In times like these, we learn to
You're welcome.
Yep.
I hate saying that, but like you either have to go completely over the top and be like, fuck everyone.
Yeah.
Or do nothing of value. So if you walk the line, which we talk about all the time, if you walk the line and you make sure everybody's good and those people, they wouldn't piss off their agents or whatever, like your piece of art would be a piece of shit.
Yes.
So you just have to go for it and you'll find the people that will appreciate it.
Yeah, and look,
that feel the same way.
The first book did really fucking well, and that
was a way different time. So this one's worse in a worse climate. So
yeah, to put it in perspective, what you're saying is, again, at the top when I said this was 3 years ago, this was in 2000. So At Night She Cries came out in 2015. At the time, like. Fuck, man. I look, I sat down with, it was Judith Regan who did the book.
Right.
She also did that O.J. Simpson, If I Did It
Queen
interview.
Of Controversy.
Yes. Huge media mogul. She did the book, was amped. I flew out, had lunch with her, the whole staff. I obviously flew there multiple times to do publicity and go over the cover and do all that other shit with them. When I talked to her after this,
Controversy was more novel back then.
I think
it was more of a little thing instead of an everyday occurrence.
Yeah. I think it's sad what's happened. And that's why I came out super hard with the cover, because just from the cover of When Darkness Falls, it was in Catch, everybody's just like, whoa, holy shit, you went for it. And we're just like, yeah. And you can judge a book by its cover, because I'm going hard as fuck on the inside as well, all the way through. And I just think at that time that this one came out, everybody was different, man. Before the election, Trump was never even in the picture for running for president, nothing. So comedy, arts. Everything, people were pushing it, doing edgy shit, and nobody was hypersensitive about anything. Now it's the exact opposite, and it's just like, oh God.
But I think in a weird way, this addresses that, because it's not to keep talking about the book, but it addresses the fact that if you actually do read the whole thing and don't get let's say a liberal person, if they read the whole thing, they would actually see. That it's not as controversial as they're initially thinking. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I go after all races,
everything. If
genders,
you read it, it's
everything
just
in this book where you're just oh boy, across
really
the board.
Is calm the fuck down, people.
Yeah. But look, we've received fucking hundreds of messages about this. So look, it lives up to the hype. Please pre-order a copy, and with that, we'll get to the sponsors and hop into the show, James. First and foremost, talking about blackriflecoffee.com. Is it? Ooh, it's right there. Look at this.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. You have it. Oh, look at you. You have it.
Oh, James, we're going to get to your Asian voices soon. A lot of controversy about that.
What?
Throwing change into the thing.
Good rock.
Yep. We're going to get into that. First up, I like how we're just alienating every Chinese person from buying Black Rifle coffee right now.
No, that's your favorite race.
It is my favorite race. Oh, yeah. Shit. Look, you know that. If you listen to the show, you know it's my favorite race. I think you should give those motherfuckers a pass. You notice they weren't on the ban list, because they come over here and contribute to the goddamn country is what they do.
They throw coins.
They work harder than everybody else. I don't really give a shit. I love the Asian community. I love the Asian culture. I really do. I appreciate it. I do. Even when, we'll get to the sponsor in a second. I was in, my hardest class in college was, I had to take a fucking chemistry class. Mm-hmm. Majored in journalism. Didn't want to take chemistry whatsoever. But you had to take one. You had to take this one chemistry class, and I took it. And it was graded on a bell curve. And I got, there was 15 Asians in there. Housed.
Yeah, that feels like ruining.
Housed by the Asians. I got a...
Feels like you ruin it.
Yeah. Well, they're just smarter than everybody else.
That's true.
I have no problem.
I'll give them that. They're not going to... there's going to be no Asian NASCAR drivers.
I'll take it a step further.
But they're real smart.
Yeah, I'll take it a step further. I talked to the professor about this because after my grades were coming in, I have traditionally in my life always gotten great grades. College, I wasn't really so much focused on the grades because you can't do anything with it unless you graduate like alpha cum laude or summa cum laude. Mm-hmm. That can go on a resume or something. What I was going to do with my life, it didn't really matter what I got. But I still tried. And after the first test, I was like, I think I got like a 42. And it was graded on a bell curve. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, hey, man, second test, same thing. I got like maybe a 46. And I was like, I'm not going to pass this class. So I talked to the professor and I said, hey, this bell curve, man, isn't really fair for someone like me. And he was just like, what do you mean? And I was like, well,
I'm gifted.
This isn't my major. These guys they had to take it as part of their major. You know, if you're going to major in chemistry and all that shit, that's your first class that you're taking. Yeah. For me, it's the one class that I needed for my thing to continue on, you know, you have to take a bunch of classes to show that you're a basically decent, relatively smart human being and can move forward and well-rounded. And when I said to him, I said, look, not only is this not my major, but these Asians are really killing the curve.
Buddy.
And he goes, he looks at me and he goes, oh, wow, that's shocking that you would say that. And I was like, it shouldn't be because they're smarter than me. And like, there's nothing I can do. I studied my ass off. I mentally can't, I'm not on their level. I mentally can't compete on that level of smart. And most of those guys are going to be chemists. Like that's what they're here for. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm not. Therefore, when you grade on a bell curve, I know those 15 Asians in my class are going to get better grades than me. I'm automatically going to be at the end of the bell curve. There's nothing I can do.
Right.
And he was like, well, you can study harder. And I was like, I tell you what, let's do this. I'll study harder and really go for it. We'll see how the next test goes. And then if not, you sit with me after class and you ask me whatever questions you want on this exam. We'll figure out whether the fuck I was studying or not. Because I just need to pass this class.
Right.
And he was like, okay. He was like, this is super unusual. This doesn't happen, whatever. Next test happens. I think I got my grade up. It was like a 52.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But still, I'm failing this course.
Sure.
And I would have had to have taken it over again. And the same thing was going to happen to me again if I got the same professor. And so I sat down with him after class and said, hey, man, got a 52. Studied my ass off. I tell you what, why don't you ask me any questions you want about this exam or something else that was on the exam and tell me how I did. So we did. Redid it without a bell curve, ended up getting like an 88, which isn't bad. I mean, it's like a high B, I would say, you know, almost a B plus. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's not me. And I was like, dude, you're going to fail somebody like me. I'm going to have to keep repeating this. Therefore, my parents are going to have to pay more money for college tuition. And I was like, I don't care what my final grade is. I just need it to be a D minus. And again, with a bell curve like this, there's nothing I can do to pass your class.
Right.
And at the end of it, you know, we took, I think, 1 or 2 more tests. Same results happened. And I just walked up to him and I was like, hey, it's up to you. But man, I'm paying shit ton of money to be here. And I can't beat this.
Did he pass you just to get out of his fucking face?
He did. So he ended up giving me a D minus in the class, which passed me.
He's tired of dealing with your shit.
I don't know. Or if he looked within and said, hey,
maybe
say, hey, the Asian kids are smarter. I would think as a professor, if you had been teaching for many years like that, which clearly you have to be a professor at Ohio State, right. I would figure he fucking knows. He knows the Asian culture and the like the Indian culture. They're smarter, man. Like there's not really much we can do. There's a couple
maybe trying to deny it.
I guess. I mean, look, there's a couple that slip through here and there. Like you got your Bill Gates, you got your Jeff Bezos, but let's face it, all the top scientists, all the top doctors in the world are usually Asian or Indian. Like that's just chemists. It's just what it is. Like it's just a different level of brain power than us white folk,
Yeah.
I mean, our kid put a bucket on his head yesterday.
He was trying to put on a jacket for about a half an hour by putting the arm through the hood.
Yeah. And he wanted the hood on first and then tried to put the arms in. You looked at me and you were like, well, it's time to call the teachers. He's gifted.
He might be gifted, you guys. Yeah. He might be.
And we like, here's the other thing is we have no problem admitting like, yeah, our child is not gifted. He's super good looking.
And he's fine. He is fine.
He's a smart kid.
But
he's not
by
going
no
to be
means,
a chemist. He's not going to go into that same class that I took and beat the bell curve.
No.
And be the top. He's just not. And I don't understand why people have a problem admitting shit like that. I really don't. I don't give a fuck. It's like black people playing basketball. They're just fucking better, man.
Right.
Like nothing we can really do. Yeah, there's going to be a Dirk Nowitzki that slides in here and there. Has a decent career, and you're like, great, he won a championship. Way to go, white guy. That's not going to be the norm, Same with rap. We're going to have an occasional white guy slip in like Eminem.
This feels super racist.
It's not.
It is.
It's not at all. Like
in a good way, but it is.
I think you have to to get over all of this shit
honest.
that we were talking about at the top of the show with comedy and arts and everything else. Be honest about what you do, what your strengths are, and how to play to them. Like
there are stereotypes that are in place for a reason. Are there exceptions? Absolutely.
Yes.
Are the majority a majority for a reason? As far as stereotypes, like have they come up and have been for years and years for no reason?
Yeah.
Because some mean person said it about or whatever. Like Asians can't drive. Like, did that just come out of nowhere?
I don't know.
Sorry. It didn't. It didn't. Every time you get cut off, you guys, every time something's fucked up, you drive next to it.
Yep. However,
it will always be an Asian, and they'll ruin your bell curve because they're super fucking smart.
But if you're asking me who I want to be my doctor,
sure,
shit, I can tell you who that is.
Yeah,
you know
Wong or Habibi.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know I'm getting the best medical care.
This is so bad.
It's not.
Let's move on.
No.
Let's move on.
I had a.
Oh Lord.
I had a cyst on the back of my neck. That was growing.
Not to brag.
Not to brag. Not to get sexy with
but
you.
Sometimes I get cysts on my back.
For some reason in LA, 3 doctors couldn't diagnose it. They didn't know what it was or if it was cancer. And there was a good 3 or 4 weeks where I didn't know if I had cancer. And I was like, man, I need to get a second opinion from a real doctor. And you know what I did? This is going to sound terrible. I asked all my friends in the industry, I was like, who's the best doctor in LA? And I got a list of 10 names. Picked the Asian, went in, boom, diagnosed me. He was like, it's a cyst. He was like, by the looks of it, I think it's going to be, not cancerous. So he's like, I'll remove it and I'll give you the results back in, 2 days. And I was like, oh, shit, really? Yeah, 2 days later, boom, on the hour, he called me. Cyst is out. You're good to go. It's benign. Whatever the fuck it was. Don't have cancer. That was an answer I couldn't get from a white doctor in 4 weeks, a month. I thought I had cancer, and I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
Right.
So fuck it. I don't care. If people, I hope you don't perceive it as racist. Just some races do better shit than other than others. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Blonde white girls contribute almost nothing.
Zero to the world.
Zero to the world, and that's a fact.
Even black.
We're fun, dude. We're fun to hang out with. Yeah. But that's about it.
Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The perceived
Hot. Same with Black Rifle Coffee, our first sponsor.
Hot.
They're getting these beans from Colombia. Why?
Best served hot.
Why? Because Colombians make the best coffee beans.
Oh Lord.
They do. Can't grow beans, and it's not like you're like, oh man, have you had that nice blend from Arkansas? That beautiful blend from Fresno. That Fresno blend.
The climate is perfect for growing.
Yeah. No. You trust the best. Black Rifle Coffee's buying the beans, the best beans on the planet, harvesting them shits right inside the warehouse. It's a premium roast-to-order coffee. Have it shipped to your house. Still wearing this goddamn hoodie. To get the apparel, because we're in the endless winter still. Spring has not sprung. Jesus Christ. I went out to the beach yesterday. I got a little sun. Today I'm wearing a fucking hoodie again. I love it. Fuck you. Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you, weather. Weather. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Type in the one-time promo code of REVOLUTION for 20% off. Use it for the apparel. So winter's never ending, apparently. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com. Squash.
Squash. Squash.
Make America grape again. That's it. This is the jam. I fucking found out last night that all of the Boston Red Sox are hooked on Strikeforce Energy, by the way.
Shut up.
Dead serious. Dead fucking serious. There's a guy, a famous trainer named Gunnar Patterson. You know him in LA. He's the guy. Like everybody goes to Gunnar. Oh, you got to go by Gunnar. Body by Gunnar. Like Gunnar Patterson.
Yeah.
He's been famous for years.
I think
always
Chloe goes to him.
Yeah, every celebrity and their mother does. Apparently, he's a huge fan of Strikeforce Energy. Yeah, and was training all the Boston Red Sox, and like they're all hooked on it, and they have all these fucking orders from the Boston Red Sox, like constantly coming in. Yeah, it's one of these products that's so good. I had this conversation with Tyler Rainey from Led by Iron. We're doing a T-shirt with Tyler Rainey coming up and Led by Iron. I'm super stoked about. But he was the one who was chatting to me about this story, and I was like, "Fuck, man." I think Strikeforce, to me, once this gets out around the world, it's over. Like everybody's gonna start buying this shit and using it. So it's not surprising to me at all. It's just they need to get more famous, is all. So try it. They got 4 original flavors. Grape, orange, original. The original is still great, by the way. Those are my OG ones. And the lemon. I got a 40 count box, 750 milliliter. Boom, boom. Pop a couple squirts in and go. Go to strikeforceenergy.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. They ship everywhere in the entire world. Next up, we got straightrazors.com.
That's a clean cut.
That's a clean cut.
That's a clean cut.
I like that a lot, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, big fan. Big fan, James.
Big fan.
Go to straightrazors.com for the finest shaving equipment in the land. They've also, if you're a dude just buying shit for a dude, they got beard oils, mustache waxes, shampoos, conditioners, everything you need to be a real man. I just ordered their smolder.
Have to.
Oh, it should be here by now.
You gotta re-up.
I used it this morning, and because I ran out this morning, I get a little travel one too. So I used the travel one.
You're like using all the little.
I know. I'm using everything from the set now. Yeah. I have ordered. We're in the middle of potentially moving, so things have been a little wonky,
dicey.
But go to straightrazors.com, type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. That's great for a really great Father's Day gift coming up. Get him when darkness falls, he doesn't catch it, and get some straight razors. Get a shaving kit for your father. It's like the ultimate man's gift, you know?
Sweet.
Yeah, it's nice. Last but not least, we got the Caillou app. That's Kayu. You can download that for free on iPhones, Androids, everything. With Facebook. Heading to the toilet.
Big, huge dumpster fire.
Yeah. Everybody's looking for new social media apps. Try this one out if you're looking to split traveling, concerts, vacations. You just someone to hang out with, someone to bang out with. Go to the Caillou app. Kayu. It's free. No strings attached. Check it out. You can find people in your area who have the same similar interest as you, who like to get wet, who like to get their beaks wet. I want to talk about real quick here because I was holding up the phone. I got it to work, by the way.
Okay, what was
iPhone.
The deal?
Deal was this. I'm over again.
Over on your
storage
data. Oh, storage.
And it melted down last night. So I had to physically plug it into the computer. I would say that's one of the top 5 worst things on this planet of being out of storage for me. On my phone and on my computers. You go through the same thing.
I deal with it daily. As far as any editor knows, that is your biggest thing of just like...
storage. I just want endless fucking storage. Same with the phones. So I got this. I think this is is this the 6 Plus?
Yeah.
This
7.
You're right. 7 Plus, right? I got it for the big screen. The reason I paid, it was a fucking $1,000 for this goddamn phone. So the reason I paid that was I do so many sketches. Everybody follows me on Instagram at STJames. Always says, dude, you got the funniest videos. How do you make these so quick and on the fly? It's because I do it on my fucking phone. And a bunch of people hit me up about the app. It's perfect videos, what I edit on. And I do it on my phone, pop it up. It's quick, whatever. Problem is, it's so much fucking storage, all of these videos. And if you delete one, then the video's gone. I don't know how to transfer these to like a computer. And I bought the phone because it had 256 gigs. Gone. Just blasted all the way through those.
Yeah.
That's not enough. Can we just make a fucking phone with 1 terabyte in it and call it a day?
Right? Like it can be the size.
Yeah.
Of this.
By the way,
I'll take it a little bit thicker.
Your dream's about to come true. So Apple's new phones this year in fall of 2018 are they're calling them phablets, which is like a phone tablet. So it's going to be that big.
I hate that name, but yeah,
I do too.
Sure,
it's a fucking lame name. They're not. The phone's not going to be called the phablet, by the way. That's what they're.
I know, but
that's what they call it
even
online.
that's like a thing.
Yeah,
the phablet.
So you're going to get your wish. It's going to be a bigger screen, all that other shit. I don't know how you're going to fit that thing in your pocket, but I can barely fit this one in my pocket.
I don't need a bigger screen. I can have it thicker.
I know. Dude. Here's the thing, Apple or any fucking other goddamn phone company, just put enough storage in there. Everything we do in life is videos, photos, all that shit. When I went, when the phone melted down and I had to go and delete a bunch of shit, I knew that the videos and photos were taking up 1,000 gigs or whatever it was. Like, I don't want to delete them. Like, that's my memories. That's my shit. I want them there.
Right.
I don't want to put them somewhere else. And because there's times when you go out or when you're sitting at home and you're like, man, remember when we bought the dog? Remember when you had a child? Remember when and you can scroll through and find those memories. Like, I don't want to go home, connect it to a hard drive and then look it up. Like, I want to be sitting in a doctor's office, make myself happy. You know
what I never do is look at old concert footage, old grainy concert footage.
Oh, you don't?
Who does?
I do.
You do?
I do, yeah. I'm the one.
Just delete it.
I don't. And I'll tell you why. I forget about all of the shit that we do. And I want to keep some memory of it where it's just like, all right, cool. I want to keep doing cool shit. So you got to keep working harder. I'm going to next weekend. We're doing Drinking Bros. We're doing some interviews down at a concert fest that I've never heard the name of this. It's called Rock in Jacksonville or something. Okay. But it's 3 days. Ozzy Osbourne. Dope.
Nice.
So we're trying to get Ozzy on the show. But we've had Jack on the show. We've had Jack.
No,
Jack
I don't
Osbourne
think it'll be the issue. It'll just be a funny interview.
I know. If we can do it. I don't know what he's like. I don't know if he's still there or what. I don't know because I haven't seen him do an interview in a long time.
Yeah, me neither.
So I don't know if we're going to get him. But the Foo Fighters are on the bill. Dave Grohl. Yeah. You can bet your sweet ass I'm going to be popping off some shots of Dave Grohl. Okay. On my phone. Some vids on my phone. Some sweet vids.
Pics are sweet. It's just whenever I see people filming literally the whole thing on their phone, my thought is always when are you going to watch that? Or who's going to sit there and do you know what I mean?
So I only do it for one song. So, because I don't want to ruin the rest of the concert. So I'm going to do it for one song. I'll take a pick, do one song, and then boom, that's it. Not the whole song. Just a good 30 seconds where it's all right, that was a nice memory that night. I liked it. But this Jacksonville concert, I want to read you this lineup because it's super weird.
Okay.
Rockville.
Rockville.
Yeah. Oh, are you on it? Are you on the thing right now?
No, you just said it.
So... Welcome to Rockville.
It's very vague, I guess. Who would be on a Rockville?
It's 3 days. This setup appears to be very similar to Coachella. First night we got Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay, as a headliner.
He's the headliner.
Okay.
Underneath him is Godsmack. Underneath them is Five Finger Death Punch. Now, Five Finger Death Punch are coming on the show, so we have an interview with them.
That's great.
That's already locked, so we're doing them.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, look at you, James. The Used, I don't know them on Friday.
The Used are good.
Yeah, and then you're starting to go down the list here, right? Saturday night. The headliner is Avenged Sevenfold. I don't know too much about it, Avenged Sevenfold, except that it seems like a Hot Topic band, you know?
Yes. So I'm sure there's people that know about them.
Stone Sour is underneath them, and then Breaking Benjamin. Now, Breaking Benjamin has been on Drinking Bros.
Oh, that's sweet.
Numerous times.
Cool dudes.
Great dudes. They were in Drinking Bros Live, the Shea Beagle tour movie. They came on stage and did a couple songs with us. They're rad, good dudes. And here's underneath them. This is going to be a surprising one to you. Stone Temple Pilots.
How?
Yeah. That's what
But how?
That's what I was thinking as well. Of like, all right, how do you do that? Asking Alexandria is underneath them. We've had them on the show. Black Veil Brides. We've had them on the show. So we're going to get some of them back to be on Drinking Bros and talk about some of the more crazier stories.
Okay.
Because we got wild when they were on the show. They had some crazy fucking stories, and it was great. But I was like, man, I wasn't there, so I'm doing it by conference, and so to be in front of them and really get to this shit and see what goes on backstage, like, all right, cool. Is that real? Was your hype real that you were talking about this whole time?
Right.
Because if it's not, I'm gonna tell everyone. Sunday, Foo Fighters.
Sure.
Amped about that.
That would be awesome.
I've seen the Foo Fighters, I think twice, 2 or 3 times maybe. And they put on an unbelievable live show where you're just like, holy shit.
Oh, they give it. They give it. They don't take it.
It's some of the best in the game. They go for it. And they play the hits too. Like they know. They know.
They don't Radiohead you?
No, they definitely do not Radiohead me.
Cool.
And they do like really funny covers. So every concert I've seen them do like a really funny cover where you're like, all right, cool. Like I saw them do Tiny Dancer one night.
Love it.
Yeah. Like cool. Queens of Stone Age is underneath them. I have not seen them live, so I don't know.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That means Grohl is like going for hours.
I don't know.
Because he jumps over and does drums for them.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Shit. That's right. I wonder. Yeah, it's got to be. He's got to be doing.
He doesn't care though. He'll play for fucking.
I know. He's got to be doing drums with them. You're right.
Yeah.
And then underneath him, this was super interesting. And if we could get him on the show, it'd be fucking awesome. Billy Idol.
Huh.
Yeah. And I wonder if that was at the request of Dave Grohl or what that was.
No, I think he has new stuff.
Well, look, I know this for a fact. Like I could tear into about 50 jokes about Billy Idol. He's got a residency in Vegas and it crushes. Like he sells out every fucking night. So I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. I know this. Every musician who talks about Billy Idol speaks unbelievably highly about him. So maybe there's something there. I don't know.
Okay.
And then this last one I'm going to tell you is going to be really fucking funny because I railed against them 2 shows ago.
Okay.
Greta Van Fleet.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They're going to be there.
They're going to be there. So if I can get them on the show, that would be amazing. Because all I want to ask is, hey man, what were your inspirations? I know it was Zeppelin.
And that's going to be the end of the interview?
That's it.
Rude.
We're doing a 10-second podcast.
Gotcha journalism. That's gotcha journalism.
I'm doing a 10-second podcast. That's it. Here we go.
And you just throw the mic up and like walk out.
Yep.
I know it's Led Zeppelin, you little fuck.
You fuckers. So I will for sure try to get them on and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to miss you, Jabes. And we're going to need the plug-in, you know?
The plug-in?
Yeah. We're going to need the plug-in, you know?
Okay.
We usually plug you in to get to the dudes, and then they come over and they're like, oh, hey, shit, I gotta talk to this fucking dude about my band.
I feel like I single-handedly kept Robert Davi in the chair.
I do too for that Robbie Davi
he
episode.
Was not,
dead serious.
He was not. He goes.
We plug you in right next to the guests. They warm up real quick, and then boom.
And then I leave.
And then you leave. Yeah. That's true though. That's definitely.
Y'all. I'm so amazing.
Do you have a crime corner today, by the way?
I mean, I do. I mean, it's a twofold.
What?
Well, because the Chinese lady is technically a crime.
Who threw the change in the... Is that true? Is that what happened on flight?
Here is the headline. Another elderly Chinese passenger tosses coins into the plane.
Wait, I need to...
So this has happened before.
You gotta start it with this, obviously. Crime Corner! Okay. Crime Corner!
This Crime Corner, you guys, okay?
Oh, that's not your Crime Corner.
This will be the Crime Corner.
All right.
I have another one, but it's like...
Well, save it. Save it for next week.
I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. You can't do 2 Crime Corners, you guys.
Crime Corner, Crime Corner.
Crime Corner. Ow. Okay, so another elderly Chinese lady.
Okay.
Because this happens a lot.
Right.
Okay, and I wasn't lying. Okay, here's the best part.
Where are we at? Where in the world does this take place?
I mean, we're in China.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
That no excuse.
Got it. Yeah.
She was flying Lucky Air.
Come on. Did it have an R instead of
Ruck? No.
Yeah.
No.
That would have been awesome, by the way.
But she was flying Lucky Air. But that wasn't enough for this elderly Chinese woman, this says. It wasn't enough that it was called Lucky Air, okay?
Right.
She needed to toss coins at the jet's engine to wish for a safe flight, prompting authorities to detain her and ground the plane. Now, in my mind, I'm seeing an old Chinese woman walking up, because they like go on the tarmac and they walk up the stairs, right?
Right.
Just like throwing the coins, a good rock, and then like trying to get on the stairs.
Yeah.
But how stupid are you?
I guess they...
And this is again.
I guess they assume that the change is like when the propellers start up, like the change is going to be blown off. I don't know. I don't know why that is. What did they do to this lady? What was the punishment?
So I mean, the incident occurred Wednesday, and so according to authorities, this was at least the second such report this year of a safety scare caused by a coin-tossing elderly Chinese.
Oh, boy.
So she's detained.
Yeah.
She's arrested.
Yep.
The plane is grounded, cannot take off. The other one, she's 76. Okay. Taken into custody, transport police said, and it's not clear whether she's going to face charges. And yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And then the other one, okay, so the other one was an 80-year-old.
80?
An 80-year-old woman.
Same country.
80-year-old woman delayed a China Southern airline flight 6 hours because she tossed 9 coins at the engine from the tarmac while boarding, with one landing and staying inside the engine.
Oh boy. Oh, I gotta give that a Morgan Freeman. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no.
And it's that kind of thing. That makes me like crazy.
Hard-hitting crime corners really gets me, because I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know whether or not after that last show if that was real, what you said about the Asians throwing coins into the thing, and I was like, that seems like that's not a thing.
Right.
Now we've solved it on Crime Corner.
Crime Corner. It's been a thing. At least 2 times. It's been a thing. On Rucky Air. And that wasn't enough for this elderly Chinese woman. A good rock.
A good rock, everyone. Jeez. Want to talk about some exciting shit that's coming out this summer. I'm legendary for bitching about not enough great music and content coming out, and in the last 2 days, like 9 people have announced dates for their albums, and I'm super stoked. Should be a big summer.
Okay, who?
Ironically, nobody in the rock world. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with that.
Well, not ironically. That's what you always say. Legendarily.
I know, but it's like there's got to be like Foo Fighters. You have enough money to put out a new album or something. I don't know. Kanye, first and foremost.
Blammo.
Shitty person.
Sure.
If you never heard him speak or if he never spoke, he would go down as a genius.
You never saw his face.
Yep.
Yeah.
His music's genius. There's not one album that he's put out that I don't like.
Sure.
He announced that he's not only putting out one album on June 1st or 2nd.
Okay.
He's putting out 2.
Sure.
And he's dropping the next one a week later. So the first one's going to be 7 songs, which I don't know why that is. I fucking hate that. Just put out every album, though, if you go back and look, it's slowly getting to like less and less songs. So I don't know if that's part of the thing or whatever, but the last album only had 10, and I think this one's got 7. Last album was great. Hopefully this one is too. The second album that's coming out a week later, I'm super excited about because it's him and Kid Cudi.
Oh,
so
shit.
Remember when he did Watch the Throne with Jay-Z? Now he's in with Kid Cudi. Fuck, man, that's going to be incredible.
Those 2 weirdos.
Amazing. J. Cole's album came out today, and shitty. I didn't like it, and that pains me. I think J. Cole is lyrically up there with probably Kendrick Lamar right now, but this album felt like a mixtape and like some weird piece of art, not like an album you release is like, yo, this is going to be a banger. I mean, there's not one fucking smacker on that whole goddamn thing. Nothing you can party with to the summer. It reminded me of an album that you've been protesting all day for whatever protest you've been at. Mm-hmm. You come home, smoke a bag of marijuana, and then put this on, and you're like, oh man, that's kind of cool.
And you feel really connected to the culture.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what that felt like. But there's no smackers, there's no bangers, there's no slappers out there that you're going to listen to for the summer. It's not going to be your summer jam album. It's kind of slow and very. I mean, look, he's great. Nothing on there really stood out for me where I was just like, But Drake, Drizzy Drake never disappoints.
Never.
6/28. So June 28th, he's coming out with a new album. Post Malone.
Okay.
Post Malone is at the end of this month. I believe he's 4/28 is his album. Beer Bongs and Bentleys. And that guy, if you follow him on Instagram or anywhere, there is not a motherfucker more comfortable in his own skin than Post Malone.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where this footage came from or where he was, but like he ran into like a bunch of college students out somewhere. I don't know where he was, like in a parking lot. And they were like, "Yo, Post Malone, what the fuck? What's up? We're bonging beers." And he was like,
we're white as shit.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, cool, man." And they were like, "Dude, I could beat you in a beer bong." He's like, "No, you couldn't, dude." And he goes, "Beer me." I mean, on the spot. And it was just like, boom, annihilated this kid in a beer bong. And it was like, that's Post Malone. This guy's fucking hilariously rad, where you're just like, all right, cool. I thought his whole shit was a joke beforehand. He keeps dropping smackers on people. So it's like, look, that new song, Psycho, was fucking dope. Like he's doing it. Good for Post Malone. Okay. Nicki Minaj putting out an album. Pusha T is putting out an album. I love the last one. It was 12 tracks about selling cocaine, but there was some bangers on that shit. Like rap wise, country wise, I got nothing. I've heard nothing of coming out. Carrie Underwood's putting out a new album, which and then she's going to go on a tour, so that's coming out. So at least you have that. I'm not huge on, I don't listen to gigantic female artists too often.
Sure.
Blaring them. Carrie Underwood's one though that always delivers. She does. She delivers hits, and she got 50 stitches in her face. She did a live performance the other night, which was incredible, and I mean, just broke down crying on stage.
Why'd she get 50?
She fell. She had a bad accident at her house.
That's right.
Plastic surgery, and she disappeared from the public for like a year to get this plastic surgery and 50 stitches and all this stuff. And she comes back out last week, does a live performance on, I think it was the Country Music Awards or something, and crushed it, but was like crying the entire time. It was one of the most powerful performances you'll ever see, and you're like, oh shit. Yeah. I am hopeful that Prince. There will be new music from Prince this year. The reason why I'm hopeful is we really, I want to say we're ahead of the curve, but we really are ahead of the curve here. Remember when we were talking a couple weeks ago about Nothing Compares to You and how Prince wrote that song?
Yeah. We weren't talking about it on air.
We didn't? It wasn't on air?
No.
Okay. So you and I were talking about it, and I was like, man, that's because Sinead O'Connor popped up.
Yeah, it was
something
like
on the television, and I was like,
oh, because we were listening to Prince like on YouTube. So
yeah.
it like,
oh yes, that's right.
It bumps up to like, because he wrote the damn song. It's like,
yeah,
it comes up on his like.
And I think I told you the story that he wrote it and
yeah.
she got it and covered it, and that's how she became Sinead O'Connor. Without that song, she's nothing.
Nothing.
She's a nothing artist. We never hear about her ever. And my thing that we were talking about, you're right, this was off air. I was talking about, I was like, man, Prince wrote this, and he recorded it. And
literally she had every note, she had
everything done
thing where she just literally
and it was recorded, and I was like, he played it live a couple places.
Yeah.
But since you can't have phones at his concert, like I don't know if there's footage of it, and he destroyed it. And I had always said, I was like, man, I just wish Prince would have dropped that song instead of her, and then that just been another part of his catalog where you're like, fuck, that's amazing. The family came out and found it in the vault and fucking dropped it last night. And not only, I was hesitant at first when Prince died, and I heard the family, he didn't have a will. And Minnesota is one of those weird states where if you don't have a will, your entire estate is broken up to brothers, sisters, stepsisters, and stepbrothers. He had like 7. So this entire thing is divided amongst the family. I assumed, like every other horror story, that a guy fighting for his music and the rights to his music his whole life, it goes to 7 people who are, let's face it, more than likely not doing that great financially in life, are just going to say, fuck it, and release everything, and it's, try to make as much money as you can. Yeah, it's going to be a cash grab.
See Prince on like Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial.
Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yes. And he was very protective about his music, and was very protective about Nothing Compares to You. Mm-hmm. But it's been locked away, and nobody knew. Nobody heard the original track. The family released it last night. Not only the track, but they found old rehearsal footage of Prince rehearsing for the Purple Rain movie. So what they did was they dropped the song on YouTube, Nothing Compares to You, right, and then put the video itself that is playing is Prince's rehearsal footage from Purple Rain.
Amazing.
And it was incredible. And I was like, I probably watched it like 4 times last night, and I was just like, man. Because you really got to see, one, the song is fucking awesome. The way he did it. Is. And he took a different spin on it than she did. I think her version is good. So I'm not going to completely shit on Sinead O'Connor because it's good. They're just 2 totally different versions. Totally different, yeah. But to see him rehearsing for Purple Rain, knowing, I've seen that movie 80 times. I love it so much. It's one of my favorites. Cut to that song and to see how hard Prince was working for that movie and his dance moves and all that shit. Oh my God. It was, it caught me. I was like, oh, whew.
Yeah.
It is. I'm getting a little choked up. Yeah. Because it's Nothing Compares. And then it's scored to that. And you're just like, oh my God. And you realize yet again, if you don't know how great Prince was, how great he really was, where you're just like, God damn it, man. The moves and everything and the shit that he was doing in rehearsals, and it looks like it was in this dingy basement. There was, you ever been to like a dive bar that plays like, the bands play? But it's
Jessie has never been to a dive bar.
I know, but like underground, where you have to walk underground and you're just like, man, there's no windows in this motherfucker. Yeah. There's nothing. Yeah. Or you look like you're in a basement. That's what it looks like he's in. And it's just like, shit, did Prince not have money, or was that his choice to where he wanted to rehearse? I can't figure it out. And the cool thing was the band that was rehearsing with him during this period of his life, they went back and interviewed him, the guy who had done part of the arrangement on this song for Nothing Compares to You, and asked him about it. And they said, hey, and the guy tripped out. He lost his mind. He goes, man, I haven't heard it since we played it.
Oh my God.
It was never released.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, dude, imagine playing on a song and never hearing it. And like never hearing it until fucking 30 years later. He's like, dude, it's like a ghost coming back from the past, where you're just like, holy shit, I played with Prince and I did this song and it was amazing, no one believes you probably, you know? And then no one's ever heard the recording. It comes out and then they interview this guy and then he went into the story of why it was never released. And it was unbelievably fascinating. So he broke down the lyrics and he said at that time in Prince's career, the song itself, like all the flowers that you planted, honey, in the backyard.
Yeah.
He was a single guy. He was going after an image of this sex symbol and all of this shit. The song is about domesticity and being domestic and, you know, being at home and all of that shit. And he goes, he told the guy who recorded with him, I don't want my fans to think that I'm married and I stay at home and I plant flowers and I'm pining over this woman that I lost who used to plant flowers at my house and make my house nice and all of that shit. And then they asked him who he thought the woman was. And he goes, that's the other part of this weird mystery with this song is it isn't about a breakup or some girl like everybody thinks the song is, that it's some like lovingly longing song. It was his personal assistant who used to take care of his house. And a family member had died, so she had to leave. And he was like, dude, she handles my finances. She plants the flowers. She cleans the house. She takes care of everything in my life. Hence, nothing compares to you. And it was about his personal assistant that was missing for like, she had to go back and handle a death in the family for like a couple months. So he wrote this song about her. And he goes, I didn't want people to think that the song was about me pining over this girl, and if they find out the real meaning, then it was about my assistant. People aren't going to be stoked about it. And when this guy told this story, you know, it all made perfectly good sense. And I was like, shit. And also Prince was so private with his music that he didn't want it coming out, and he didn't. But it left me hopeful of like, shit, if this is in the vault, what else is in the vault?
That this family is just going to like
open up, because this song is professionally done, mixed, everything. So it's not like it required anything else other than releasing it. When you hear it, it sounds like his style during the Purple Rain era. When you hear Nothing Compares to You during that era. So when you play it, you're like, oh shit. Yeah, I could see him recording this with the rest of the album. It sounds exactly like Prince and the Revolution. Like, it's dope. So how much more shit does he have? And now I kind of want it out into the world. And the last question they asked this guy was, what do you think they should do, the family should do with the vault? Because allegedly there's thousands of songs. And they said at the time, during the 80s, Prince was writing one song and recording it a day. And he plays all the instruments, so he was mixing it and doing it all himself. God knows how much is in the vault. But this guy said, I think it would be awesome for the world and his memory if they released all of this shit. And he goes, Prince
was the kind of artist, though, that wouldn't want anything out that he didn't.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why it's in a vault, because to him, it wasn't perfect.
Yes.
So there's something to.
Yeah. And
I know you want to hear it.
I'm torn on it. You're right.
But as far as like,
right.
If you really do, you know, want to respect this person that you love that died.
Yeah.
Is there any in there that's maybe like completely finished and totally, I don't know.
This one was, apparently there's a lot, because he did it all himself. He plays all those instruments.
There was a reason why he didn't want this out.
I know. And I get it now, but in hindsight,
I don't know if that was the reason. I think it was like, I guess that was like some of the reason, but it seems that he was like, I gave this to somebody for them to be their song, and I'm not going to now like turn it into my song.
But here's the interesting part about it. So the first person he gave it to was a band called The Family that was on his label.
Oh, okay.
They did the song. It didn't do well.
Right.
It just went fucking unnoticed, unheard, whatever. This band, The Family, that was on his label, they were like, look, man, Prince was going through it at the time. He just didn't have enough oomph to put us out there into the world. Like, he just wasn't. He was going through so much other shit, and that the band never took off. And then he said Sinead O'Connor covered it, and that's when it blew up. And then they asked the guy, they were like, well, what did he tell you about his feeling about this song? And the Sinead O'Connor version, he goes, he hated it.
No.
Yeah. Said he hated it. And he said he didn't mind if people covered his shit, but he wanted to be asked first.
I thought he gave it to her, like, as a, like, hey, I want you
That's
to
what I
sing
thought.
this.
Yeah.
So it was literally just a cover?
Just a cover, that's it. And so, because he wrote it or whatever, they covered it, paid the royalties on it. And,
okay, that's different.
And then the guy said this to Prince, the same guy was just like, but Prince, you're going to be fucking loaded after this song because it's at the time that was like the biggest song in the world for 80 weeks in a row. I mean, something crazy. And
I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant. I mean, when you hear those, like, the beginning,
everybody knows
like it takes you right back. Like, yes.
Several hours
yeah.
15
days. Oh, hello. Nailed it.
I know.
I know.
No, not that. But with that, so the guy said, you're going to be rich, Prince, off of this song. You should be amped about it.
Totally.
And he said, it's not about the money. He goes, I don't care about money. It's about the fucking art. And he goes, I just don't like her. She never asked for it. She never asked for the fucking song permission. So
Prince was a little bit annoying sometimes.
I don't know.
Prince was a little bit annoying sometimes. Come on.
He was great. So lastly, in this interview with this guy who, after reading this interview, was super fascinating because this guy seemed pretty close to him. And he said, they asked him, they were like, what's with the whole fucking, shit then and everything in Prince's life and all of that stuff then, because he never came out and publicly slammed her either. And he said, look, Prince was well aware of what he was trying to do in his art and all of that shit. And he thought if he could become this, enigmatic person, that it would leave everything vague. You would always be wondering, but it would also be everything about the music. And then this persona of Prince that is just seems otherworldly. And he goes, behind the scenes, hardest working dude in the biz, always recording, loved music, loved arts, life, all of it. And that was the real thing. But the whole persona of Prince was a creation, which I thought from the get-go about him, that all of this was just a hilarious joke, just to Prince and his friends, where he could be like, hey, I just did all this fucked up shit to people for all of these years just to do it because I'm Prince.
And towards the end, he was like, he went on like shows like as himself, kind of being like, I'm Prince. You know what I mean? Like, he was kind of making fun of it towards the end.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He would do like appearances like,
for sure,
I'm ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I think I would like to think that behind the scenes there was like a wink. Do you know what I mean?
So do I.
Of like, I know what I'm doing.
The other fascinating twist to this story about the new song coming out in the video, and none of this was coordinated by the family or anyone else, but the same day, the morning of, the guy who's running the investigation, because they were going to try to charge someone for giving Prince all these drugs for ODing. Okay. And he announced, he had a live press conference like literally 2 hours after the song dropped. Again, it wasn't coincidentally, like, I mean, it was just a coincidence. It wasn't planned or organized that way. They said they weren't going to press any charges against anybody. That there was a bottle labeled Vicodin, and in it was fentanyl. So he was taking what he thought to be Vicodin, and it turned out to be fentanyl, and he fucking OD'd. Now, look, was he hiding that from somebody else or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Prince.
Yeah, I'm good on it. I don't want to hear anymore. Like, you don't really need to go in that depths of stories about it anymore. Like, same with Tom Petty.
Me?
No.
Oh, them.
The world.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that Tom Petty died. I don't know. I don't want to know that or OD'd. I don't want to know that Prince OD'd. Like,
yeah, because the real deal is that, you don't think, even if you take a little pill, a little thing, like, you don't think you're going to die.
No.
You're not doing it on purpose. But, you're flying close to the sun every time you do. So I think that he absolutely knew, but, he wasn't trying to kill himself. He was just, I heard that Prince was in a lot of pain, right?
He was.
And I'm sure Tom Petty was too. So it's like.
Yeah, but both of them hip replacement, by the way.
Yeah, you do what you you gotta do when you're in fucking pain, dude. And you still want to work. You still want to tour. I mean, Petty had just gotten off of tour, right?
A week earlier. Same with Prince. Prince died 3 days after he played in Atlanta. And
when you're trying to work through like pain,
yeah.
Shit like that's gonna happen. So it's like, is it a bad thing? Like, oh, he's a drug addict and blah blah blah. I think he was trying to keep working when he should have been resting. And that will always be a problem, I think. Yeah.
Well, nothing compares to you, Prince. You killed it, my man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say me.
No.
Yeah, no.
Definitely Prince.
No,
definitely Prince. No. If you could put that on the end of the audio show, that'd be great.
What?
Nothing compares to the Prince version.
The Prince version?
Yeah, that'd be great. Check it out and tell me what you think. I really dug it. I know
it's going to be way different, but
it is, and it's
and the other one just
there was some surprises. Like there was a saxophone in there instead of like a hard guitar that I thought Prince would have just shredded on. But again, it made sense for the music he was making at the time. It sounds like from that first album. Stick it on the end of the audio show. It'd be great.
Okay.
With that, we're going to get to the revolutionary figure of the day, shall we?
We shall.
If you don't say we shall,
then you don't do it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Fucking do it.
You need your routine, or you just go crazy.
This one's going out to Earl Bruce. Earl Bruce was the head coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes in the 80s. Feisty fucking dude and super hard fought coach and an interesting. He was one of the first coaches. At a major college program who just did unhinged press conferences. It was in the 80s during
I love a bit of drama.
Like the Earl Bruce, Bobby Knight era, that type of stuff where it was just like, hey, there was some hard-nosed guys who were out there who were just like, I will do anything at all costs to win and punch people, scream at people.
Back in the locker room, they're like shoving kids against the thing. Like, get your fucking shit together.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody's pressing any charges because you're like, Coach, you're right.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it goes.
And with that, he didn't do very well. They like Ohio State wasn't very good in the 80s. They replaced him with a guy named John Cooper who came in afterwards. And John Cooper was a complete fucking pussy. Your stock standard, boring fucking guy who just couldn't win the big game. He won a lot of games, but couldn't win the big game. Couldn't win a fucking national championship, which is such a pussy. And all of his interviews, yes, he was a fucking comey. And like, I hated John Cooper as a coach. I hated him. And it made me like, you go back and watch his old Earl Bruce tapes and his speeches and the way he talked to people. And he was passionate and he would fucking go up to fans in the stands and he was rad. So I'm throwing it out to him because he was one of the first guys who was doing those type of press conferences and really telling it like it was, which we love on this show.
We do.
Fun show. This flew by. Jessie Wiseman.
Yes.
You're probably going to hell for what you said about the Asian people, but it is what it is. We probably lost half our listeners today, but what ifs?
We have a huge Asian now. You guys know I'm partly joking.
Yeah, exactly. Partly.
Good Ruck.
Yeah, good Ruck, everyone. For Jessie Wiseman, I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Go out and pre-order When Darkness Falls, He Doesn't Catch It. The sequel to At Night She Cries While He Rides His Steed. It's everywhere. Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com. Do it. Support the show. We love you. Good night.
Good night.